wanna chill with me. Come bleed with me. Go down your hair, you heard what Gucci said. Then it ride, baby. Yeah.
Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel, you guys. So today we need to talk because clearly people are either losing their minds or literally really out here doing any and everything to go viral. Like, for real. I'm trying to figure out, like, is this clearly it's for real, because apparently the lady went to jail, but it's like, what is the mindset here? Why would you sit up here and climb on top of this man's wheelchair who is clearly like not all the way there, and put your hot box meow meow all over his head while you dancing and recording the video to put on TikTok? Like, no, I'm for real. Like, is this for real? This can literally, this in my head, I'm like, this cannot be a real thing. Like, people out here are crazy. Who would put this online? The fact that she recorded this and actually put this online is even like driving me up a wall even more. So you guys, the lady who is the sister to this person, to the guy who she's dancing all over, she did an interview with Unwind with Tasha K, and she was basically talking about how her brother is mentally disabled and he has the mindset of a 5-year-old. And then also as well too, that this girl in the video is not a nurse. She's not licensed or anything. It's her mom who the sister hired to help her with her brother. And then I guess one day the mom had her daughter watching her, and she said she called the mom and asked, like, is this your daughter and what's going on? And she said, oh yeah. And the mom said, oh yeah, well, you know how kids can be. First of all, no, we don't. No ma'am, I don't know. Even if the lady, I think the sister said she doesn't have kids, but even if you do have kids, no ma'am, no we don't, because your kids should know better. How are you raising your kids? I can already tell, first of all, because you on the phone making excuses. And the fact that she sat up here and uploaded this online lets me know all I need to know of how her upbringing was going in that household. So the mom claimed that she had the daughter watching her while she ran to the store or something like that. Girl, the daughter got on full scrubs. Like, she has clearly watched this man more than once. So that's strike number one. Well, strike number two, really, because your daughter up here dancing all over this poor man's head. And then you got your daughter watching him, and she did not even hire you to initially be the person to watch him. And the daughter is not even licensed. The lady is in jail. The sister did pursue legal action, so this is why this young lady is in jail. And she said initially she wanted to, you know what I'm saying, show up at the house and beat down the mom and the daughter, and rightfully so. But she had to calm herself down and remember that if she did this, then she would be in jail with her and she wouldn't be able to be there for her brother. Good on her, you know. I love that for her, because she's exactly right. She's exactly right. Like she said, had it been her, I guess in her younger years, like she said, it would have been a whole different story. But she is, you know, like a lot of people say, as they get older, she's more mature now, more wiser, more calm down. But I will say this. I do not judge people who would have taken the other route. I'm not one of those people who sit up here and act all perfect and act like, oh, why would you go do that? Or you could have handled this more maturely. No, first of all, it is very hard to keep your composure when someone has mistreated or disrespected, not even just you as an individual, but a loved one. And as she said, her brother, he's mentally disabled, y'all. So he doesn't even really know what's going on. And the girl apparently went online and recorded another video. I couldn't even find it, but she apparently went online and uploaded another video, doubling down on her actions, talking about, oh, he likes it. Ma'am. He looks like he is like halfway asleep, or he clearly looks like he's not even all the way there. Like, even before the sister came out and said he was mentally disabled, I mean, just looking at him, you would have thought he was under the influence of something. I don't know. But the man is clearly not all the way there. And you sitting up here, and the fact that you thought to get on the wheelchair, y'all, it's not even, it's the fact that, like, she literally got on top of this man's wheelchair. That's what he's sitting in, right? A wheelchair. And started dancing on top of his head with her hot box all over his head, talking about he liked it. First of all, that's weird. You're weird. Even if the man was not mentally disabled, why would you do that? That is unprofessional on a whole nother level. And people like her, I'm glad she's in jail right now. And they need to take that key and I don't know, go lose it and throw it away. Okay? They need to go lose it in a wormhole or something, throw it away. She ain't getting out. Because people like, I hate people like her. And I know they say, oh, you shouldn't say the word hate, whatever. Yes, certain people need, we need to just do away with them. Like, ma'am, throw away the key. You can go ahead and stay in there. Because I cannot stand people like her who take advantage of people who are either in the people that they take advantage of. These are the type of people that will take advantage of people in this category. That will be kids, people who are mentally disabled, or older people. If they think that they can do something and get away with it because they feel like they don't have the mental capacity to tell on them, or they may be too afraid to tell on them, then they're going to do things that they have no business, that they know they have no business doing, that they would not try with the average person on these people. I think they can get away with it. I cannot stand people like her. Like I said, and I'm glad that the sister was actually able to hold her composure and calm herself down and be like, she's going to take legal action. Because let me tell you something. I'm not there yet, but at the same time, I am there. Because, like I told you guys on, what was it, the last video or the video before the last? One of my previous videos, like I told you guys. So I recently had decided to take my son out of public school and begin homeschooling him, right? And this was after let's just say this. There's multiple reasons why I made this decision. But there was a specific incident that happened that was the catalyst that made me go ahead and take these steps. Like I said, I will talk about this more on the channel that I have with my family once we finish out this school year or whatever. But there was an incident that happened that was a catalyst for me making this decision. And let's just say this. This is why I say I'm there yet, but I'm not there yet. Because certain things I do feel like, yes, you have to woosah and protect your peace. Again, as my husband says. And then there are certain things that I do believe, certain situations that, no, you have to stand your ground. There is no backing down. But I will say this. I'm not going to get into full details over here, but I will say that basically there was an incident between, of course, my son and another child, and a very upsetting incident. Right now, the way the teachers told the story to me was just like my son basically just hit this child out of nowhere. Like, it was unprovoked. Like, he was just sitting there. They try to literally make it seem like my child was just sitting there and I don't know, the wind just blew him and he just decided to just hit this child or whatever. Now, me knowing my child, because I know my child, like most parents who are actually involved with their child and very with their children and very hands-on with their children, you can smell bullshit. You know when somebody is telling you something about your child that is just like, no. There is situations where your child, you know, when they're not around the parents, they will act a little different. But for the most part, for 99.9% of that, you know, like I said, when this is a situation where, okay, so you up here just showing out, doing whatever you want to do, and where's a situation where somebody is telling you something about your child that you know for a fact it is false, it is not true. So, like I said, they basically gave it to me, called me and made it seem like my child just hit this child unprovoked. And then and I'm like, okay, and mind you, the teacher who initially called me, because it's always a teacher that wasn't even in there. They got this information from another teacher. So then I'm like, Okay, sir, you weren't there. This is information you got from the teacher that was in the classroom. Okay. So then I asked her and I said, okay, did this Cedric tell you that? That's my oldest son's name, right? So I'm like, did Cedric tell you that? And she was like, yes, that came directly. First she hesitated. And then she's like, yes, that came directly from Cedric. So I'm already like, no, it didn't. Okay, ma'am. I'm like, okay, ma'am. It seems like it's something. Since my child has been going to the school with y'all, it seems like it's something every week, right? So I'm like, okay, I will talk to him when I get ready to pick him up because I'm gonna get the full story. I don't know exactly what happened. So long story short, basically another teacher that actually walked my son out for pickup. She's telling a different side of the story. And my son waits until we get home and he's like, she is lying. This is actually what happened. This child has said this, and this to me. Like I said, I ain't gonna say what he said. I'll talk about it on the family channel because then I'll go ahead and go all the way left and it's really gonna upset me all over again, to be honest. But the things that this child said to my child, first, it was confirmed that it was true. Because one thing too is kids, like my mom said, they forget things easily. Like they'll randomly remember stuff like that happened throughout their day at random times, right? So as I'm doing laundry, once we get home, first of all, my child already said that the story that the second teacher that walked him out for pickup to the truck or whatever was lying. She's like, that is not what happened. She's lying. So then he was like, but the kid, he was, getting on my nerves, So then I'm like, okay, if he was getting on your nerves, that don't mean, I got on to him at first. I'm like, that don't mean that you hit somebody. Like, that you don't hit nobody unless they hit you. So then as I'm doing laundry, he proceeds to come and tell me, he's like, he said the kid name, and he was like, he said this, and this to me, while they were at school. And I asked him, I said, so I'm shocked, but then again, I'm not shocked because I know, I know where we at. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, is this the same child that you had got into a, tussle with in I think it was the computer room or wherever they was at? And he said yes. So I'm like, okay. So instantly I messaged the teacher and confirmed what happened. She did confirm that happened. So my whole point was, okay, so why didn't y'all tell me this? Y'all purposely left this part out in the story. So this child has been messing with him all day, and then when he finally retaliates, now y'all want to come and call me, but then you come and call me like the child did nothing, and my son just decided that he just turned around and just randomly hits the child, like just out of nowhere, like he just crazy or something. So already I'm upset because, like I said, this is just one of the quite a bit of incidents that he has had since he's been going up there, to where they definitely make a difference up there. And again, like I said, I ain't surprised. And I don't believe in keeping my child in an environment that he is not gonna emotionally and mentally or in education wise be thriving in. Anyways, it ain't gonna ever be that serious. Come on, you can come on up out of here. So, yeah, she did confirm that happened. And I asked her, I'm like, okay, so why didn't nobody make me aware of this? One, this is a whole separate conversation now that I have to have with my child. Based off of what this child has said to him, right? And then also, too, not only did clearly this child had been messing with him all day and poking at him, picking with him all day. You guys knew this, but you purposely left this part of the story out and then made it seem as though that my son just randomly just hit this child out of nowhere. Like they hadn't been having issues with each other all day. So I asked her, I said, okay, did you, first of all, she said, oh, I talked to him, and my son said that the teacher had told the boy that if he said what he said to my son again, if she hears that again, she's gonna give him she's gonna take away time. Now, take away time, according to my son, which I had confirmed, I know this is true because I had confirmed this months back as well too, because this is he had to get time taken away from their what they call Fun Friday. My son had to get time taken away before from their Fun Fridays, where they kind of play games, do whatever they want, because the teacher was saying, he wasn't paying attention and just kind of not participating, doing whatever he wanted, right? Okay, so I'm like, okay. So I told him, you got to pay attention, right? But like I said, I know they seem to make a difference at this school, because fast forward, now this child done said what he said, oh, it's something that should be zero tolerance, and y'all giving out warnings. Y'all give umpteen 11 warnings for them to get their act together, but he do something, oh, he ain't paying attention, his first time, no, take away time. No fun Friday, right? Or whatever. So I'm like, she gonna warn him and say she gonna take away time. No, she should have took away time. Just like they have no problem taking away time away from you. As soon as you do something. So then I'm like, okay. So I proceed to let's just say this. Like I said, based off of this child had said to my son, I wanted to talk to the parents. But I'm also a person who is very self-aware, right? So with that being said, I was like, okay, I want to talk to the parents. I'm already very upset based off what this child has said to my son. And if these parents say anything out of their mouth other than an apology, or basically acting like they don't care or it is what it is, it's going to be up in this office. And they're going to be ready to call PMO like they love to do. You know, call the police, right? PMO is what they call them here on base for those of you who don't know, you know, for people who are in service. But, yeah. So, what I did was, first, before I messaged the teacher, like, okay, I want to talk to the parents, right? Which, also, too, another weird thing that I noticed they be doing in these schools these days, not only they act like they don't be wanting you up there at them schools like that to visit your child to see what's going on. They claim they doing this and doing that. Remember back in the day, you used to be able to peek in on the classrooms and, you know, see what the child is doing. Yeah, they act like you can't even be doing that no more. They really don't even want to let you do that no more. They be saying, oh, you got to schedule with the teacher, or you got to schedule it. Why I got to do all of that? I should only have to pop up. I just come in to the front office, sign in, somebody escort me down, and see what y'all be trying to do too. Y'all be trying to protect them teachers, because a lot of these teachers these days too getting caught doing stuff they ain't got no business with these kids. They sit up there mistreating these kids, and then you sit up there and see why the child is so-called acting out, as they say. Okay, but that's a conversation for another day. So what I call first of all, I call my husband. I think it was either I called my husband or I called my mom. No, I called my husband first, right? And explained the situation to him. And my husband, you know, he's like, what in the world? Like, what? So I'm telling my husband, you know, after telling my husband, you know, of course my husband, he's upset too or whatever, right? My husband is more of the, like, I would say level-headed one or whatever. Like, he's not going to, I wouldn't say I'm irrational, but you guys know how you have that balance where y'all could both be, like, level-headed, but one is a little bit more level-headed than the other one, you know? So I called my husband and explained the situation to him. I'm like, I want to talk to the parents, but my husband, you know, and my mom, they both know how I am, right? So they basically said the same thing. Knowing how I am when it comes to my loved ones, especially knowing how I am when it comes to my kids, it was not going to be best for me to have no meeting with the parents. It was not going to be best for me to have a meeting with the parents. And that's the same thing that I had told them. I was like, I want to have a meeting with the parents, but I'm going to be honest knowing how I am. I do not think that I should have a meeting with the parents, because this will very easily go way left field and turn into something else. And this will not be beneficial for my family, not only for myself, but also for my family as a whole. So I just decided to ask the teacher, okay, I messaged the teacher, right? And I asked her, I said, okay, did you make the parents aware? Did you talk to the parents? Like, do y'all think this teacher messaged me back? I'll go ahead and let you know. No. She had literally, to this day, the teacher has never messaged me back because she don't care. They do not care. They pretend to care, and they don't care. But the teacher never messaged me back, like I said, which, okay, that's fine. I had already decided at the moment, okay, I'm finna go ahead and take my son out of the school, because what y'all not about to do is keep playing in my face. And then when I come up here and act the fool, then everybody gonna want to clutch their imaginary pearls and act like they don't know what's going on. And this is another thing too, you guys. When you have been trying to quote unquote be professional and handle stuff the right way, and people continue to play in your face, because they said poking at you, being passive aggressive, and they know exactly what they doing, and then you blow up, and then they want to act like you're the one in the wrong. So like I said, at that moment I knew the best decision was to just go ahead and remove my son. I had a separate conversation with my son about that incident, and we have been loving homeschool. Okay, he's thriving, but that's like I said, that's the incident where I can relate to, as far as the sister saying she had to keep her composure in a way and remind herself that, you know, she couldn't react this way like you initially want to react as a human being, because she knew that it could put her in a position where she would be in jail with the girl and she would no longer be there for her brother, which that's way more important. Being there for your loved one is way more important. And people don't know that, like, how that affects you as an individual, because she still has to internally go home and deal with that and sit with that, like, oh my gosh, like, you know what I'm saying, this is my fault. Even though it's not her fault. Like, who knew that girl was gonna do that? But I'm saying, like, everybody knows, like, as somebody who either has a loved one in their care, whether it's your brother, your mom, your grandma, your kids, when something happens to them and it's somebody that you put in their, like, you put them in somebody's care that you trusted, you are always gonna blame yourself, because you're gonna always feel like, oh my God, it's my fault. It's my fault because I'm the one who trusted this person with you. So she still has to go and deal with that internally, like, and then it's like, and then you feel like you really didn't even get them how you really wanted to get them, because how you really wanted to get them, you know, you couldn't get them that way, because like she said, you know, now you gonna be in jail with the girl. Like, that's it's just crazy. Like, it's literally ridiculous. Like, yeah, call the police. Let me get. She did right by involving the authorities, because oh my gosh, boy, the way it's so easy for you to be like, don't worry about it. I got it. You know how people be like, oh, karma gonna get him. Karma gonna get him. See, the way my mind be working, and then you gotta remind yourself and just like, woosah, woosah, woosah. I'm karma. Karma is me, and I am karma. That's how my mind be working. Like, it'll go that way real quick. No, I'm the karma. I'm the authorities now. I'm about to give you the stop, resist, and treat me. Come here. Like, it's not funny, but it's like, for real, that's how you would initially be wanting to handle it. And it's so hard to try and keep it professional. Going back to the girl who, I guess she's 19 years old. I don't care how old she is. Girl, she is old enough to know better that she should not have done that. So, with that being said, it's people like her that I can't stand, and there's the reason why I am as a parent, just even as a parent. Do y'all know when my son first was going to, like, school or whatever, first started going to school, I was terrified. I was terrified. Not only was I terrified because they always seem to have a mass bop, bop, bop going on every 5 minutes. I was also terrified for him going into school and being away from me like that, because he receives speech therapy services, and I'm like, okay, so he only knows how to say, you know, these couple of clear words, and then the rest of it is like jargon, right? So I'm like, okay, he receives speech therapy services, and I'm like, I know that it's people, me knowing that it's people like her who try to take advantage of people. I know that my son could possibly be at school, coming in contact with somebody who purposely go and get jobs where they have access to kids or whatever, and could be just up there mistreating my baby and thinking that, oh, well, he can't tell, so, you know, they could just do whatever that they want to do, whatever they want to do to him or whatever. So this terrified me. Like, literally, I had talked it over with my mom and everything. Like, I cried his first day of school. The other parents was looking at me like, girl, is you serious? I cried his first day of school, and I didn't get her. Like, my husband was like, he's okay, like, he'll be fine. It's like, you have to realize, first of all, these whether it's normalized or not, when we send our kids to school, you guys, they're essentially going to a building full of strangers, and we have to hope that there ain't no creepsters in there, or people in there who get off on mistreating, you know, children. So with me knowing that, like I said, when my son already receiving speech therapy services, that makes him an easier target for people who try to get over on people that they feel like they can get over on or mistreat, right? And do stuff that they know that they have no business doing. Now, with that being said, of course, like, as far as him telling me stuff, I wasn't worried about that because, of course, I can understand what he's saying. Like, no, like, that mama bear stuff is something else. Like, it don't matter. Nobody else may not be able to understand them. But you as the mom, you can understand what your child is telling or is trying to tell you. But also, too, with him being that small, going into pre-K, even more so, back then, kids really be like, forgetting what then went on with their day. But that's why, since my son had started school, I always made it a point to every day. Always made it a point to ask him, "How was your day?" I want to know all the details. I'm, asking different types of questions to try, pick your brain a little bit more. Maybe you forgot to tell me this. Maybe you forgot to tell me that. But yeah, I say all to say this. So I was scared to send my oldest child to school when he first started going to school because of people like her. Because of people like her. You sitting up here doing something that's inappropriate. I don't care how you mix it and match it. I don't care if she was fully clothed with some scrubs. I don't care what people are. It's inappropriate. She is literally gyrating over this man's head. What is wrong with people these days? Like, are y'all really out here just doing any and everything just to go viral? Like, come on. Like, be for real. You guys, yeah, the lady is in jail and good, as she should be. If you made it to the end of this video, of course, thank you guys so much for watching, of course. And don't forget, you guys, I post Monday through Friday, and you can just check down in the description box below for specific uploads, of course. Bye.